All right, boys. So it's gonna be trade recap of the day. So um, I know I haven't been making videos this week, and my last trade recap was last week. But it's because on Sunday I bought a new EVAL, and then I blew it all by gambling, literally gambling, and then on Tuesday I bought another one, and this time, like, I have my rules. I can only take maximum 2 trades a day, and I have a daily loss limit of 500. And yeah, so and my daily profit goal is 1,000. So yeah, now I have those rules in place. And what happens if I break them? If I break them, I have to run 10 kilometers, and my mom never buys me an eval again. So um yeah, so I'm going to do the trade recap for today. So, looking at the 4 hour, I mean, we were just kind of chopping. I can use the bar replay here. We can see that we were just kind of chopping, right? Not really anything clear. The only thing we had was this 4 hour intermediate high and previous day high right here, right? So on the hourly time frame, what did we have? We had Yeah, so we didn't really have anything. We just had all of this trendline liquidity lower. Um, on the 30-minute time frame, this was my first condition. We had these bullish and bearish gaps. So we had this 30-minute BPR that was delivering from this buy side liquidity, which was this was on Wednesday and this was previous day high at the time. So we were delivering from this buy side and we had this 30-minute BPR. So I know from experience this is a very high resistant price zone. I can show you guys another example of this. It is right there. I remember this day very well, where we wanted to take longs and rejected it multiple times because we had this. Oh wait, was it actually not on this day? Well, maybe it was not on this day. But I remember there was a day where we just rejected the high like 50 times. I think it was on this day. Yeah, but whatever. The point I'm trying to make is like when we have this 30-minute BPR, it is a very big zone of resistance, right? So yeah, for me to be bullish, I will need to see a 30-minute closure above this to then target previous day high and the 4 hour intermediate high. What happened? We just never got it, right? So did I take longs? No, I didn't, right? So my second condition was, how can I make this smaller? Oh, like this, yeah, nice. So my second condition was this 50-minute gap here, right? This was my second condition. We closed below it. When we closed below it, I was like, okay, I built this narrative that we are delivering from buy side liquidity right here. We are delivering from this 30-minute BPR, and now it just inverts this 50-minute gap. So now what am I looking for? I'm looking for all of these low resistance down here, and potentially, if we go down there, down to previous day low, right? So what did I do? I waited for a retracement. I didn't FOMO in or any of that dumb stuff. And wait 1 second, I have a call. Alright, I'm back. So it was nothing important. So yeah, so what am I looking for now? Okay, this condition, this 50-minute condition got is respected. So now I marked out equilibrium from the swing high down to the swing low. I had this 50-minute gap marked out. I still had draws lower, right? I had this 5-minute intermediate low, 5-minute intermediate low, and this previous day low, right? So what did I do? I so I had this 50-minute gap marked out. We were just generating liquidity on the lower time frame. Right, so right here we took out these relative equal highs into this 50-minute gap, right? And then I was looking for a short. There was a 30-second gap here, so I can't see it here, but I was watching it somewhere else, right? So I had this 30-second gap that I wanted to see get inversed, right? And it just didn't, right? We're just generating a lot of low resistance liquidity here. So what did we then get? We The other thing I was watching was right here. We opened up a 30-minute gap, right? We opened up a 30-minute gap, and this was a 30-minute gap, and we didn't trade into it, right? So right here, this was a 30-minute gap. We edged it, right? 30-minute FEG. So what happened was I thought, okay, we have that 30-minute gap, but what we also have is, I'll just put this one. What we also have is this rejection block, right? So this high can be protected, and price is very heavy. We're heavily trending down. This this is very protected, and we respect CE of that rejection block, right? We barely tapped equilibrium, but I mean you get the idea, right? We swept another high inside of a fair value gap to the left. So this high was protected, and when I saw this giant death candle here, that's when I took a short. And what did I target? Well, I just target this low resistance down here. But honestly, looking back in hindsight, with such a strong and confident bearish bias, I could have maybe targeted like the 5-minute intermediate low or even like previous day low, right? I could have done that, but I mean, I went for the low hanging fruit. Yeah, we're just dumping now. What am I expecting now? I'm just gonna be expecting sideways price action, just accumulation again because we just expanded 300 points, right? We just expanded from the high to the low. Yeah, 450 points. So am I gonna take another trade now? Of course not. I'm gonna save my profits, even if they were small, because I went with a lower size on this trade, right? Because I didn't like the way that we left a 30-minute gap unmitigated. So I took I mean, I of course I could have gone in heavier, but I undersized, right? So it's fine. So, um, yeah. So my executions. Let's go to MNQs. My MNQs is here. So, right here. So this was a trade I took. We had this 5-minute gap that was potentially breakaway gap because we had an order block here. And then what we had was this low resistance liquidity generated at the lows and this 30 seconds IFG. So this was a rejection block. I've already said that. So rejection block right there. We respect CE of that. So now I'm just gonna log into TraderVate to show my executions, and I'll be right back in a second. So yeah, I'm back, and pretty much this was a PNL. I made $244.8, and this was on the eval, so it's not real money, but I mean it's still something, right? On the day that I undersized, so I basically took a short. I entered right here. This is the exact place where I entered, and I got out here for right here for about a 1-to-1 RR. So could I have extended my take profit all the way down to previous day low and made potentially much more money? Yes, I could, but again, um, I mean, honestly, I could have done that, but I just went for the low hanging fruit, and I mean, yeah, it's pretty much it, right? So the only thing I didn't like was the 30-minute FG right above, but it acted as a breakaway gap, so it was not a fair value gap. I mean, it is still a fair value gap, but it was a breakaway gap. So yeah, I mean, overall, like I could have even gone for these low. I mean, but yeah, it is what it is. I took profits, uh, right there. So am I happy with my performance? Yes, I am. I only took one trade today, so I'm not gonna take any more trades. I'm not gonna crash out. I'm not gonna look at the charts anymore. So Yeah, pretty much that's it. That's the trade recap of the day. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.